Kings and queens, if you clicked on this video, chances are that you've been hit with an early queen attack that ended your game of chess before it even started. Well, today we're going to be putting an end to that. I'm going to teach you exactly how to handle these cheap tricks, and I'll teach you how to understand and counter these lines so that you can punish opening tricks even if you don't remember the exact moves. So without further ado, let's shut down these miserable attempts at playing chess once and for all. e4, e5, and now three options. Yeah, you can put that queen on f3, queen on h5, and the bishop on c4. And you can do this in all types of move orders, but yeah, don't worry about it, we'll cover them all. So first of all, queen h5. Now, why does he play this move? He wants to attack your e5 pawn, and also he lines up the queen to your f7 pawn. This is sort of the weak spot in black's camp. But it must be noted that the move queen h5 is actually already an inaccuracy, as you just guard your e5 pawn. And now this queen is sort of vulnerable to attacks, like by the knight on f6. So to justify his move queen h5, he's going to play that move bishop c4. And something very sort of important happens here. If you just only think about your moves, you would play the move knight f6, attacking the queen and attacking this pawn. You think it must be a good move, right? But no, now you get checkmated. So this is what the white player is hoping for. But instead, you are smart. So what you're gonna do is you're going to think, what does my opponent want? And then you're gonna counter it. So yeah, obviously he's lining up against f7. And yeah, now you can sort of guard it with your queen or play g6, attacking the queen. And we're going to opt for the move g6, blocking the attack, right? Because this would be an illegal move. And now, yeah, this queen can go back to d1. But yeah, then you just play knight f6 and you've got a superior development, and you should just play bishop g7, castles, and you have a good game. So instead, what they're gonna do is to put that queen on f3, attacking f7. Again, yeah, he's trying to catch you lacking, but you are never lacking. So now you play that move, knight f6. And here, yeah, again, you just block this attack. Just think, like, what does my opponent want? How can I prevent it, right? Okay, and now here, yeah, he has a couple of options again. He can play the move g4 and queen b3 and also knight e2. Now, if he does play the move g4, he is thinking he is very smart. Yeah, what he's trying to do is to, like, let's say you make a stupid move. He wants to push g5, removing this knight, removing the blockade, and then when you move the knight, saving your piece, you get checkmated. Well, obviously, you're not gonna play a null move here. So how do you cope with this threat? Well, first of all, you have to sort of think, whenever your opponent makes a move, what is their idea? And can I sort of counter it without really, responding to it? In this case, after the move g4, there's no immediate checkmate threat. So you can just play the move knight d4, attacking the queen, and also attacking the c2 pawn. So, like, let's say he were to move the queen, now you can take, and you're up a rook, and you will win this game very shortly. So, now again, yeah, after the move g5, you can just take that queen. So he has to move the queen, and after he plays the move queen d1, yeah, you can take this pawn, you can take this pawn, because if he takes, you have a discovered attack on that queen, and you can also just play the move d5, and they are all winning. So yeah, this speaks volumes about how good your position is. Just make sure to, yeah, open up the center, because he's wasted all these sort of tempos, right? Like, now you attack the bishop, attack the pawn, and when he takes, you can get out your bishop, immediately attacking that queen. And yeah, this is just a completely winning position for black, so you should have no problems converting this. So now we're going to look at knight f6 again, but he doesn't have to play the move g4, right? Not everyone is going to sort of fall into this trap. Now, many players do actually play this move queen b3, and actually this move loses as well, because again, it's clear what he wants to do. He wants to take this pawn again, right? Lining up against f7, but he's not threatening to take with the queen anymore. So here you can again just counterattack with that move knight d4 we saw earlier. And now when he takes, you can just move your king, because he cannot defend this bishop anymore. So let's say he tries to guard the bishop. you can play b5, attacking that queen, and when he moves it, you can simply play king takes f7, winning the bishop, and now you should have a very easy game. So again, instead of queen b3, this move is very poor. He has to move the queen again, and then, yeah, just to finish your development, and you'll be winning this game very soon. So instead of queen b3, there is the move knight e2. Yeah, this move is the best move, but it's not really a trap or anything. He's just not giving away his pieces, and he's guarding the d4 square, right? So now, yeah, you can play a lot of moves here. I suggest bishop g7. Just finish your development, get your king to safety. And the reason that black is better in these positions is because this queen on f3 is very awkward, right? It can get hit by moves like bishop g4, moves like knight d4, and yeah, white doesn't really play for the center here. So black is better. So now that we've looked at the move queen h5, we're going to be taking a look at the other queen move, queen f3. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to line up that queen again to this f7 square. So yeah, there are a lot of move orders in these sort of early queen attacks, but you should just go by these principles, because you can never remember exactly what to do against queen h5, queen f3, bishop c4, and all of these other traps. And instead of trying to remember it, you should understand. So yeah, he's trying to line up against f7, but in the meantime, he's gotten out his queen, which is a very nice target for all your minor pieces. And if you just guard all his threats, then you will have no problems. So after queen f3, you just bring out your knight, just develop, right? It's a key rule. Now here he's going to play bishop c4, again trying to line up. But now in this case, you've actually already guarded his sort of checkmate threat, because you have knight on f6. So now after he moves knight c6, and knight e2, you just have no problems here. So like this construction of pieces, there's no sort of immediate threat, because he's not anymore threatening to take on f7, and also if he were to play g4 here, he actually just gets hit with knight d4 again. It's kind of like the variation we just saw with queen h5. Yeah, this knight d4 is a very nice theme, and that is also why he plays knight e2 here, because he covers this d4 square so that you can't jump here anymore. Yeah, and now you just bring out your bishop, because why not? And then here, there's one more sort of key theme that you should know on how to counter this specific tactic that the white player will probably try to employ. So it all starts off with that move, queen g3, attacking g7. And now you just castle, unsuspecting. d3, he opens up the bishop. And now, let's say you just play a move like d6. You know, just like an Italian game, bring out your pieces, play bishop e6 next, and everything will be fine. Here he plays the move bishop h6. And now he's threatening a checkmate, because you can't take, because the queen pins your pawn to your king. So now here what you're going to want to do is to block this attack. That's very important. Like, you can play many moves. There's actually one winning tactic here with the move bishop takes f2 check. Because if you were to take with the king, here you check again, attacking both the king and the bishop, which immediately wins you the game. And actually the same happens after he takes with the queen. After knight g4, yeah, this bishop is hanging, the queen is hanging, and after he moves it, you can simply take, and you are up a pawn and should go on to win this game. Additionally, if this bishop takes f2 resource isn't available because it's a slightly different position, you can also just try to block it with a move like knight g4, because now again he doesn't threaten checkmate anymore, because the knight blocks this queen, right? So he has to move the bishop, and then when he moves the bishop, you can simply take it, and now you've got the bishop pair and a very nice position. So that is what I wanted to mention about this queen g3 move. Now, if he does play the move d3, you should castle your king, obviously. Keep developing. Now again, if he plays queen g3, just play d6 and we'll get what we just saw. But here they'll often go for a move like bishop g5, trying to damage your pawn structure. And here again, you should think, what does my opponent want? What he wants to do is, if you play a move like d6, he wants to put that knight on c3 and put that knight on d5, exploiting this pin. let's say you were to make a null move. Now he attacks this point, and when you take, he can take your queen. But if you don't take, he's gonna take you, and you're gonna lose because you're gonna get checkmated. So to prevent this, here a very instructive move. You play bishop e7 back. You retreat your bishop, which is very counterintuitive because you're always taught not to move the same piece twice in the opening, right? Well, in this case you should, because now after the move like knight c3, and you just play a move like d6, after knight d5, you actually just take, and your queen is not hanging anymore because you blocked this pin, right? And now when he takes you, you actually win a piece, so he'd have to take, and here you are much, much better. So, bishop e7, very instructive. Think about what your opponent wants first. Now that we've looked at all the queen moves, we're gonna look at bishop c4, the most flexible move, and it's also the only move out of these early queen traps that isn't an inaccuracy. You see, after move bishop c4, he's just developing his bishop, so nothing is really wrong with this move, but he's also not really trying to trick you anymore. You see, if you were to play a move like knight c6, then he can again bring out his queen, which is no problem, as we've just discussed. But here you can also opt to put that knight on f6. And now if he brings out his queen thinking he's smart and he's gonna checkmate, you can simply take it. So after the move queen f3, we again transpose to queen f3, which we looked at earlier. You play knight c6, and you try to go to d4, and he'll play knight e2, and we'll get what we just looked at. So here after the move bishop c4, he'll probably play something like d3, you'll just play knight c6, bishop c5, castle your king, and yeah, you'll have no real problems. So that was it for the early queen attacks. And there it is. No more getting clowned by early queen attacks. Now if y'all did have questions about the lines in this video, drop them in the comments as I will reply. And if you did find this video helpful, consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help me out a ton. Thank y'all so much for watching, stay hydrated, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.